It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Howdy, howdy. Good morning to you. It's Friday, finally Friday. We are here. We've arrived. Just get through the day, people.
That's it. Make it through the day, and then it's a downhill climb. So it's good news.
That's right. Well, we begin with news this morning. Greene County deputy is charged with sexual misconduct for an incident that happened over the weekend. Jesse Snow, who has since resigned from the department, is accused of exposing himself on Saturday at a store in Springfield. He was suspended from the department then on Sunday, and on Tuesday, Snow resigned from the department. So the charges are there. He was taken to jail, and he probably bonded out by now.
All right. A rough day yesterday for the new Missouri State University president. He had to go get checked out in the emergency room. The 53-year-old Biff Williams said he didn't feel well and out of an abundance of caution decided to call the ambulance. He says he's looking forward to returning to work. No word yet on what exactly went wrong, but he had some tests and whatnot. So, when I saw that, I actually felt really bad for him, not because he got sick, although that's also no fun, but because he's in a position right now, especially being brand new, where the whole world is watching him. And so now the whole world knows that he had to go to the ER. Oh, it's brutal.
Well, and they all saw the ambulance come onto campus, and so he had to send out an email kind of explaining to everybody that he's all right, and sorry about that. But that well, it's never a good time to have an episode like that, whatever it was. We don't know. And we hope that it's certainly nothing serious or long term. But there's never a good time for that. But certainly you don't want to do it in front of students or when you're supposed to be at something. Yeah,
it's kind of like when you and Jerry Jacob announced that I was having a baby on the air. And I was like, I'm not even in labor yet. Or Jerry was filling in.
I was going to say.
Jerry was filling in for you.
What did I do?
You sat there and watched it with me and went like this. I was texting Jerry. I was like, Jerry, I feel a lot of pressure right now. I'm not having the baby yet. I just went to the hospital. I mean, he was right, though, because a few hours later. Do you remember that?
Well, we were texting with him and he just told everybody on TV?
Yep.
It happens.
You had to leave. That's why, because you had to leave work. So then he was filling in for you because you had to leave
is that what it was?
To come to the hospital.
Oh,
and you were like, oh, Sarah's having a baby. I have to leave right now and go to the hospital. So he's filling in. He's like, well, Ethan's headed to the hospital. Sarah's having the baby. I'm like,
was that Griffin? Who was that? Griffin?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Whichever one, it was nerve-wracking.
I don't remember any of that, but okay.
They all run together. All right. Now this story is interesting. It didn't last long, this position, but it was a good run. The general manager of the Ozarks Lunkers is no longer with the team. Caleb Scott was let go. Sounds like a difference really of how he does business versus the owners. Scott took to Facebook. He was very grateful and complimentary of his time there, which started actually more than a year before the season officially began. So he's been there for longer than they've been playing, publicly. But anyway, they wound up, the Lunkers did, with a 3-6 record. The Lunkers say they plan to name a new GM in the next 2 months. Springfield Business Journal, I thought this was an interesting statistic from them. They are reporting 10,511 people in attendance at the team's 5 home games.
All right.
That's a good turnout. 10,500 people.
Yeah, for a brand new team.
Yeah.
First ever season.
Yep.
And it's, you don't expect them to come out and get to the championship game their first season out.
Oh yeah.
But obviously
you got to build.
Obviously the GM expected more, or there was some other difference there. But okay, we'll see what happens next season.
I read his post, the GM's post, who was let go. He was honestly very kind and complimentary. And I mean, and honestly, with sports, like, there is a difference of style. You know what I mean? There is. It's You've played for enough coaches that it's, like changing your golf swing. It's a subjective thing, and people do it differently. So there's more
You know what? You know
than
what?
one way to skin a cat.
But you know what fixes all disagreements?
What?
Winning.
There's that.
Winning. If they went 9-0 this season,
yeah,
it's all good. All right. We'll see what happens next season. Sounds like, or looks like, the Springfield Public School District as well as OT are making some public-facing changes.
OT? You mean OTC?
Did I say OC?
You said OT.
OT? OT?
Yeah, like overtime.
Okay, sorry. Ozarks Technical Community College is what it's officially known as. But instead of calling it OTC for short, the college chancellor says they want to go by now Ozarks Tech. So there you go. Start calling it. That'll be tough to do. Start calling it Ozarks Tech. Why? A few reasons. But for one, the school says that's what the students call it anyway. So might as well call it Ozarks Tech because it's Ozarks Technical Community College.
I got to tell you, it was interesting when they kind of abbreviated it as OTC, which caught on, but I don't think that was ever like the university's plan because it's not complete. And it always used to annoy me. I'm like, that stands for Ozarks Technical College. And it's not that. It's not just a tech school. Right. I mean, it has some technical programs, but it's a community college.
Right.
And so you're missing the community aspect of that, which is weird, but Ozarks Tech also does not capture that it's a community college.
When I first got here, I was like, what is it? What is OTC? And they said Ozarks Technical Community College. And I was like, Technical Community. We're missing a C. You guys are missing a C on that.
Yeah.
And it didn't make sense to me.
Well, they never, and it never took off. I mean, instead of calling it OTCC, which is what I felt like they should call it, or now I feel like they should call it like Ozarks Tech Community. No, that's too long. Ozarks Tech Com.
You'll have to noodle with it, and they should have asked you before they changed it.
You know what? I am going to doodle with it, and I'm going to call the chancellor. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, because that's what he wants to do is change it to something and then change it again.
Give me a moment.
Yeah.
and I'll come up with it.
Yeah. No, I think this is going to be fruitful, whatever you're doing right now. Over at Springfield Public Schools, the district is changing its logo. It's first time in 25 years they're doing that too. The new logo looks like an open door, and their tagline is "Your future, our focus." So there you go, Springfield Public Schools. And in sports, Missouri Tiger football fans are excited about this upcoming season. So excited, in fact, that they've already bought up all reserved season tickets for the year. So now just a handful, a limited number of reserved single game tickets remain for just a few games. One of those games is Arkansas, the rival to the south. The Tigers are ranked number 11 in the country this year, which is that's impressive. And they kick off the season August 29th at home against Murray State.
How about Ozarks Tech Comco?
Yeah, I think that's
Comco
perfect.
is all one word. COMCO. Comco.
I think that's perfect. You ought to get a Facebook page going and see if we can get
Stands for Community
something.
College. You get it?
Yeah,
Ozarks Tech Comco.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think it's great.
But the chancellor's right. A technical college and a community college are two totally different things.
I think they're assuming that people are going to call it something for short, and then if they really want to sink their teeth into it, then they can.
Okay. All right. Well, today, tomorrow, and Sunday, tonight, I should say, or later today, tomorrow, and Sunday is the Ozarks Antique Auto Show. This is the largest swap meet in the state, apparently. That's exciting. They have more than 2,200 swap meet spaces filled, all kinds of cars, new, old, show cars, antiques, all at the Ozarks Empire Fairgrounds. And it is inside the E-Plex, so there is air conditioning should you need it. But I grew up going to swap meets, and I feel like you should go. If you've not been, now's your chance.
Did you enjoy swap meets not when you were little?
I mean, I went when I was little with my dad. My dad is a car buff, and he knows everything there is to know about cars. And so we would go and he would give me the history on all of them. You know what? I didn't mind it. My mom actually is the one who tortured me with going to Hobby Lobby and Hancock Fabrics. Because I love what they do, but that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that was tougher to stomach than the car show.
For sure it was.
Yeah.
For sure it was. Yeah.
I could see that.
But since I'm a good daughter, I've been known to take my mom to craft fairs now.
God bless you.
I know. Yeah.
God bless you.
It's like a crown of my jewel in heaven. I'm confident.
Or
it's a labor of love. It's a labor of love.
Yeah.
I said that backwards, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I don't think anybody noticed though.
Finally, the History Museum on the Square is happening tomorrow from 5 to 7, and you can go meet the museum educators, which is cool. If you're a history buff, this is for you. It's an educators only event. They'll have light refreshments. All the attendees can learn about the museum's engaging field trips, their educational trunks, which we've told you about some of the trunks that they have. It's like history in a trunk. You pull it out and see what all's in there. Their Meet Missouri program, and then Civics on the Square education initiative. But again, History Museum on the Square. That is tomorrow night from 5 to 7.
It is for educators. So if you are a teacher or some sort of educator, this is for you. They're inviting you to find out how you can do field trips and all that sort of thing. You can take advantage of the great museum we have there on the Square.
Yep. That would be cool. It's a neat place. And I don't know. There's a lot to learn. So and school started back. So it's like perfect timing. Okay, I think that's it. That's all. I'm done talking. I don't know why, but I'm very talkative today.
You are. And some of it was right. So
I was just coming up with a new name.
All right.
Paid the big bucks for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being with us this week. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
I'm Victoria Cash, and I want to invite you to a place called Lucky Land, where you can play over 100 social casino-style games for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. So what are you waiting for? The best way to discover your luck is to spin. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com. That's LuckyLandSlots.com. And get lucky today. At Lucky Land. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. We made it. Temperatures near 70 degrees this morning, and some storms, some strong overnight, are dwindling now on the radar. So if it's not the perfectly sunny day in your town as you're waking up, just know that this first line of storms is actually going to decay and move on as we get closer to the mid-morning hours, and we'll be left with a hot, sunny, and very humid afternoon. I have high temperatures that will climb up into the middle 90s today. It's going to be a scorcher. I expect that we will see heat and humidity and primarily dry conditions as we go through much of the day. I'm watching, though, this complex of showers and thunderstorms that's kind of fallen apart as it moves southeast through the Ozarks. That will clear the area. I think we're all dry by midday, and then we're dry for most of the afternoon. We're not done with storm chances, though, as we head into tonight. If you have any plans on this Friday night, just know that there's another round of storms heading our direction. A cold front approaching prompted those storms last night and this morning, and now yet another round of showers and thunderstorms is going to be possible as we head into early Saturday. That's after a hot and humid day this afternoon. In fact, today, 95 for the high temperature forecast. It is going to be a total scorcher. And I think through the most of the afternoon hours, we will see some sunshine. So a pool day for those of you not in school already. It could be strong to severe with some of the storms that do develop overnight tonight into early Saturday morning. The good news that I have for you, though, is that the weekend is not a washout. In fact, it looks like a nice summer weekend in the Ozarks. Temperatures will be slightly cooler. I have highs near 90 degrees. We may have some morning showers and storms around on Saturday morning, and then the skies will clear a bit. We will then see temperatures also near the upper 80s and close to 90 by the time we get to Sunday. Overall, it will be a hot summer-like weekend, but the humidity won't be quite as bad as what we have out there for you today. High temperatures today, I told you mid-90s. That means lows tonight will only fall back into the upper 60s and low 70s. I think we do have a good shot for some widespread showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight, and then a high temperature tomorrow. We'll still be near 90 degrees after some morning rain. So make your Saturday plans for the second half of the day to account for those morning rain showers. We'll then see temperatures fall back into the mid 60s on Sunday morning, and we're in the upper 80s by Sunday afternoon. So overall, things are looking like a pretty nice weekend here in the Ozarks. That is not the case up in Alaska. Around the country, what's making headlines, it's this series of storms affecting Alaska beginning today, lasting all the way through the weekend. It's going to mean strong winds, heavy precipitation, and coastal impacts for the state of Alaska, while we have calm weather here in the center part of the country. The extreme heat that we have out today, it kind of moves south. So dangerous heat will be in place for the south this weekend. I wouldn't call it extreme heat here in the Ozarks, just kind of typical late August temperatures with highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s. All right, it's time for the Friday edition of the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question for the day. Here's the question that I left you with yesterday. What is widely believed to be the strongest muscle in the human body? And the options that I gave you were A, the gluteus maximus, otherwise known as the buttocks, B, the quadriceps, C, the masseter, or D, the tongue. All of these strong muscles, but what is widely accepted as the strongest muscles is actually the masseter, also known as the jaw muscle. It is very difficult to determine the strongest muscle in the human body because muscles never work completely alone and other factors can affect the strength. However, the masseter muscle is known as the jaw muscle, and it is considered by some to be the strongest muscle in the human body based on its force production. The masseter is a thick muscle. It is located near the back of the jaw and inside the cheek. It's responsible for closing the jaw and chewing. And when chewing, the masseter can exert up to 170 pounds of force on each individual molar, which is kind of crazy. When all the jaw muscles work together, it can close the teeth with a force of up to 200 pounds on just the molars. That's kind of wild. I guess it makes sense that you always hear about how snakes have really strong jaws. It's the jaws that they can clench. Anyway, C, masseter. Congrats if that was your guess. Here's the question that I'll have the answer for on Monday morning. This is a sports question. Sports in space. What sport has been played on the moon? Do you think it is A, golf, B, baseball, C, soccer, or D, volleyball? You can log on to aroundtheozarks.com to answer the Brain Twister trivia question and be entered to win $20 gift card to Scooters Coffee. Thanks so much to Scooters and to Rescue Towing for sponsoring Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Thank you for listening this morning. I hope everyone has an enjoyable and safe weekend. Find the way to stay cool this afternoon in the heat and humidity. I'll be back to chat with you on Monday morning.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high-fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.